Inspirational Creatives, episode 243. Welcome to Inspirational Creatives. I'm your host, Rob Lawrence. Join me every Friday as I chat with successful artists, producers, and creative entrepreneurs who share powerful stories and strategies. They can help you to create the life that you want. Listen each week as these inspirational creatives show you how to take your creativity to the next level. You'll learn how to create a sustainable business that inspires others and gives you the financial freedom and lifestyle that you want. Thanks for listening. Make sure you sign up at inspirationalcreatives.com to get free exclusive bonus material. And now, on with the show. Rob here, and a very warm welcome to the Inspirational Creatives podcast. In the next 7 days, I'm going to be sharing with you the wisdom of Dr. Christine Lee, a procrastination coach who can help creative people like you and me to get unstuck and moving again with our creative projects and ideas. If you're new to this podcast and Inspirational Creatives, normally every Wednesday I share with you a short action episode which is designed to help you take some life-changing action towards living more creatively. Each Friday, I share with you a longer interview. However, for the next 7 days, I've chosen to share with you a mini-series focusing in on fear, and more specifically, the common fears that prevent us from getting our creative work done. So for the next 7 days, I'll be sharing with you an idea, a piece of inspiration, or an action, or a piece of wisdom from Dr. Christine Lee that I feel will help you to unlock your creative genius and your creative potential. So today is Friday, and normally I'd be sharing an interview chat with you, but today is day 3 of our Overcoming 7 Fears in 7 Days mini-series, and yesterday we explored the fear of rejection. Today in this short episode, we're going to explore the fear of criticism, which I've learned is very closely related. If you look for it, you'll notice that criticism seems to be everywhere. Direct criticism in the media, newspapers, and when politicians are arguing, and indirect criticism, when it's not offered as constructive feedback that can appear in the form of envy, jealousy, and other unpleasant comments and emotions. We've probably all experienced criticism at some stage in our lives, but it needn't not stop us from taking bold action towards the creative expression that we're aiming for. So I'd like to look a little more closely at this fear with you today with procrastination expert Dr. Christine Lee, who in episode 241 revealed to me the deep relationship between fear and procrastination. I've invited Dr. Christine Lee back onto the show again today to explore the fear of criticism and how it prevents us from progressing with our creative work. Christine, welcome back to Inspirational Creatives.
Hi, Rob.
So today we're going to talk about the fear of criticism and the fear of judgment. First, I'd love to ask you, how's that different from the fear of rejection?
It's a great question. And I think one way to describe it is that rejection is kind of the big brush, the big paintbrush. It's the larger idea of someone thinking not well of you, thinking badly of you, or not liking your work. And criticism in my mind is the actual words, is the actual vehicle of that rejection. The words, the statement, the letter, perhaps, I don't know, the words that can feel quite painful because these are words describing someone's feelings about the work that you care about and the work that you have put your hard efforts into. So it's this specific criticism as differentiated from the broad rejection, the feeling of being rejected by someone. And I think people have difficulty hearing criticism. I know I do. And I think that it's something that we need to get used to. If we're going to advance our work, and if we're going to want to get to a professional type level with our work, to develop some sort of expertise, we have to know that there will be criticism coming. There should be criticism coming, because people have different ideas and sometimes people are wrong, but that we're going to need to hear things as they come and to accept everything that comes our way, even if it doesn't quite suit our self-esteem needs, that we get to hear both the positives and the negatives about our work, and that we protect our ego in a healthy way by saying the criticism is not personal to us. It is about our work, and perhaps it's meant to help our work also. And to just, I guess, develop a somewhat thicker skin, for lack of a better way of describing this process, so that, again, the work becomes the forefront of what we're thinking about, that we're not really worrying about our ego all the time. We're just worrying about getting that work done, getting that work to be at our highest level, getting our work out there so that we can get the good critics to look at us, so that we can improve. And then there's this natural process of artists and creatives and writers and musicians moving forward. All of us can move forward when we're not held down by our fears.
Say we're experiencing procrastination and we're stuck with our creative work. If it's the fear of criticism or judgment at play that's behind it, what sort of feelings are we experiencing?
I feel there's a general sense of nervousness and a general sense that maybe a general fear that maybe I won't be able to make my way out of this safely. So that it makes it hard to kind of just put one foot in front of the other, in terms of if you're writing an essay, that you kind of get stuck mid-sentence rather than kind of mid-essay, that the progress is very slow and it feels like there is no flow because the fear is what you're focusing on. So when you find yourself in that stuck space, you want to take a walk around the block. You want to brew yourself a cup of tea. You want to talk to a neighbor or a friend to just kind of jog your mind for a bit and to get yourself out of that stuck feeling. And sometimes it's just a feeling. It's not that you don't have the material in your mind waiting to come out. It's just that you have this momentary feeling that you can't do it. So just reach more deeply into yourself and grab that idea that is ready to come out onto the page. And again, always be on the alert for your fear so that you could push it aside.
So to summarise then, the fear of criticism is closely related to the fear of rejection, which is what we discussed in episode 243, yesterday's episode. Criticism can be a good thing, particularly if it informs the next steps for our creative work. Remember, we don't always have to agree with the criticism we receive. We have that power. As Dr. Christine Lee suggests, sometimes it may not suit our ego or our self-esteem to hear criticism, particularly if it's not constructive. However, accepting criticism comes with being a professional. It's something we have to get used to and comfortable with. We can protect our ego by reminding ourselves that criticism is often about our output and about our work. It can sometimes be about our behaviours too. Criticism is rarely about us, and when it is, you have to question the source of that criticism. When we experience criticism, sometimes it can be hard to get going again. Christine recommends taking a break, making a tea or talking to a neighbour or friend, or perhaps even going for a walk with a view to refocusing our perspective and nudging our minds into a different direction. Often when we are experiencing the fear of criticism, it's hard not to focus on the fear rather than the creative work, which would be more helpful in terms of helping us to move forward and perhaps as importantly, learning how to absorb helpful or reject unwanted criticism as we experience it in the future. I hope this episode was interesting and useful to you in some way today. Let me know your thoughts on today's inspiration by dropping me an email at rob@inspirationalcreatives.com. If you'd like to hear more of what Christine had to say and my longer chat with Dr. Christine Lee, head on over to inspirationalcreatives.com, head on over to the menu, and at the top there you'll see a button that says episodes and look for episode 241. Join me again tomorrow when we explore the fear of uncertainty with Dr. Christine Lee. I look forward to catching up with you again then for another day of daily inspiration. Thanks for listening. Nothing beats the stories and advice of an expert to help you raise your creative game. I would love to know what you thought about today's episode, so don't forget to subscribe in iTunes where you can rate and review the show. If you like this episode, I invite you to share it on Facebook or Twitter with the one person you know who will benefit from the wisdom shared here today. You can find the show notes on inspirationalcreatives.com/podcast. If you have a burning question or a great idea for a guest, head on over to inspirationalcreatives.com/contact, where you can connect with me there.